did you want to do a quick Bitcoin technical analysis update?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Perfect.
Because since we're on the subject, I did want to point out that global liquidity had a sharp pullback this week. So it's kind of worth highlighting. Obviously, we keep hitting these reversals, and I'm going to put up this last one here. I thought we were going to achieve a little bit of a higher high here, but now we're going to need to hurdle 70K again in order for me to start getting interested. But it was this global liquidity trend and pullback here that had me just sort of, interested in what's going on here. We seem to have this really nice uptrend even during this descending trend in Bitcoin, but now a little bit of a pullback. So what's your take? What do you think's happening here with liquidity?
So I believe I was seeing some reports of that was issued within the repo markets, which is code for collateral within the world somewhere is going down drastically in value very, very sharply. And when I see stuff like the, I believe, was it the EU that are showing 100% debt to GDP, and then we have the China coming in with massive amounts of stimulus, and then all the stuff happening with the Japanese yen, it makes me, and then the 50 basis point cut from the Fed, it makes me think, okay, there is actually a systemic issue in the financial markets. We don't see it yet. We don't know where it is, but there is a systemic issue, which to me makes sense with this steady rise of liquidity, like you see on your chart, and then this pullback here. And so I think we should be looking out for a potentially one big dip in financial assets that are highly correlated to liquidity. So Nasdaq, Bitcoin, and currencies. I think we should be able to see that, but because they're taking preemptive moves, I don't think we're going to see Bitcoin at 55,000. Like I don't know that we actually turn over and hit down because they're doing the emergency liquidity injections now. So we'll see. But there must be a collateral issue at some place somewhere.
Copy that. Well, one thing that's nice to see is that despite this sort of descending trend in Bitcoin's price, it still would have been your best bet year to date here among all the other traditional asset classes, even the Qs, even XLK, which some of these top ETFs are usually what I'm taking a look at. But gold was surprising, 28% this year so far, but 38% still on Bitcoin. Nice to see.
That's the thing. We're since 2009, really since 2012, the game is liquidity. We're trading liquidity. That's all everyone is trading. All these assets are correlated to that. And you're hard pressed to find long-term moves that beat the buy and hold of liquidity, right? So those people who make money in uranium, those people who make money in the oil trade, or all these different things, sure, but you can't hold that for 4 years. Whereas these liquidity trends, it's a guarantee that the financial institutions and central banks are going to pump liquidity in. There's like no downside to the move. Like there's no risk that Jay Powell's going to come up and go, we should really live within our means and really pay down the debt, and we're going to cut down on it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. And so liquidity is the trade, and the asset that's the most correlated with global liquidity is Bitcoin.
Got it. Yeah. Well, you heard it here, and that was Tom's financial advice. Please direct your lawsuits his way. No, I'm kidding.
Subscribe to my blog, buy my service.
You have your course you're selling on this soon, right?
That's exactly right. All right. So, what do you think Bitcoin's gonna? Are you bearish then? Now, are you leaning towards bearishness?
Still in a wait and see pattern right now. I think I've mentioned a few times, like I want to see some confirmation to the upside before I get interested again. But if we start breaking some key levels to the downside, then it's time to avoid crypto for a little while.
I see. I mean, I always feel this way where I want crypto to fall because I think that long term it's always going to go up. So I'm fine with more dips. Please give me more dips.
Sure.
I never have any problem with that.
This one's not a very good dip though. It's more sideways than it is dippy. I want a stronger pullback than this.
And it's happening exactly where I'll just share my screen real quick here. it's happening exactly where I would expect the squeeze to happen. So like we have this large flag move over here,
Mhm.
and so I would expect to see these trends to meet. So it's only really around this area here that I think we could even get the volume necessary in order to break out. And
Yep.
we've had this long period, and so I, I was sort of foolish before when I thought that this breakout was going to break out here or here, because there's just too much. There's too much of this flag, um, and so it's fine. To me, this is one big consolidation, and if this consolidation plays out, then I think with a crisis and with how central banks are adding liquidity now, can you imagine what they'll add in if we have a crisis? I
Yeah.
mean, it'll be insane. And I think that's what drives us higher up. And gold being up on the year, right? Gold goes up because central banks are buying gold because there's people are betting against the structure of the financial system. I think that's what's brewing, but it's 6 months before I think something severe happens in a negative way.
Yeah, I could see that. I think the other interesting thing right now in terms of referencing the consolidation phase here is how low the Bitfall index is on the historical volatility. I don't know if you follow the Bitvol and ETHVol indicators, but right now we're at the 56 range. I mean, we're so low in terms of long term volatility that this is a tightening range that I would expect a breakout from.
Right. Exactly. So that's why I'm long now. I can't wait for confirmation because I'll jump out a window if if I miss the up move. I can't wait for confirmation, but I get the waiting now.